Executive Council is considering upgrading domestic funding for the treatment of persons living with HIV and AIDS in the country. This much was gathered at the meeting of the National Economic Council held during the week in Abuja, where the Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, said the increased funding is to help achieve the elimination of the disease by the year 2030. Correspondent Jamil Afegbo has the story.
The Minister of Health and the Director General of the National Action Against AIDS stated that an increase in funding would greatly reduce the dependency on foreign donor funding for HIV services and the attendant development indicators, while also calling for investment in HIV treatment that would lead to increase in life expectancy.
Such an increase will reduce dependency on donor funding for HIV services and the attendant development implications. They also call for investment in HIV treatment that will lead to increased life expectancy in the country and a proportionate increase in GDP. They added that the need to invest in HIV is imperative because donor funding is on the decline due to global economic circumstances.
The report on the re-emergence of Lassa fever was also presented to Council, and it agreed that it was going to intervene quickly to halt the epidemic which has now been reported in Ebonyi and Ogun State.
Let me also state by the side that the Honorable Minister, after governors presented an emergency situation in the spread of Lassa fever, especially in Ebonyi State, where some health workers, died from Lassa fever from last week. And so the Honorable Minister briefed Council, and it was agreed, that the federal government is going to intervene very quickly, in the case of Ebonyi State and Ogun State, where this epidemic, has developed.
An update on the Economy and Recovery Growth Plan was also presented by the Minister of Budget and National Planning, and it stated that government is addressing key economic situations through the plan to cover between 2017 and 2020. Some of the key issues include stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, achieving food security, ensuring energy sufficiency, and improving transportation infrastructure. To achieve all of these, Council agreed that each of the 36 states plus the Federal Capital Territory will now start the implementation of these programs with the Ministry of Budget and National Planning.
The Minister of Finance informed Council that the balance in Stabilization Fund account as at 15th January 2018 stands at 9,757,887 naira 25 kobo. Update on current balance of Natural Resources Development Fund.
Meantime, the Ministry of Finance has given the national account balance as of the 15th of January 2018 to stand at $2.317 billion. National Stabilization Account, 9.730 billion naira. Natural Resources Development Fund, 115.108 billion naira. The minister also stated that the sum of 700 million naira has been disbursed to 11 states that are having outstanding payment issues.